talk a little bit about who should Joshua fight next. There's Fury on the table. My personal favorite pick out of all the opponents out there for Joshua, as strange as this may seem, I like the Wilder fight, and unless one of you guys could convince me otherwise, I still feel that that might be the best option as far as out there. As far as big money fights, you get because who else can it be? Is it going to be Andy Ruiz? No, he won that rematch decisively. Alexander Usyk, we already see how that played out, and we look at the standings. The only one up there is Tyson Fury. Don't think he's ready for that yet. Joe Joyce is an interesting opponent that has been mentioned quite a few times. He's 15-0 with 14 knockouts. I personally like that fight, but if not Joe Joyce, why not number six ranked fighter out of Tuscaloosa, Alabama, Deontay Wilder? Is the classic fighter that is more of a boxer than Anthony Joshua, but he has been hurt before, has been knocked out before. I would say he has the weaker chin compared to Deontay Wilder. Deontay Wilder is known for that one-punch knockout power. Why not make that fight happen? Thank you for the gifted membership. My man, Beta Quest. Bro, you don't have to do that, so thank you, man. Truly appreciate that. You are the gifted king in the chat. Baby Miller versus AJ. Listen, by the time the baby grows up, we'll see what he's ready for. But I'm sure Anthony Joshua will be well on his way out. Wilder's the one that makes sense, says Plugs. I agree. Why not? One of the biggest American stars, one of the biggest British stars. It's like a match made in heaven. Fury has historically been a nightmare to deal with as far as negotiations. When Fury could have maybe fought Deontay Wilder, who did he go with instead? He went with Derek Chisora. Who wanted that fight? Absolutely nobody. But they still went with it. And and it's not a fight that anybody really wanted. He beat him back in 2014. Why fight him again in 2022? Maybe he wanted to do his friend a favor. I understand that. I have no problem with that. But when you're the quote-unquote greatest heavyweight in boxing, why not give the fans what they want? And it was an interesting topic. I saw Eddie Hearn again talk about this today. I'll be referring to that interview that I think he shed some good light. Eddie Hearn was saying that Fury said, okay, I'll take the fight if we do 70-30 purse, maybe thinking that Fury wasn't going to take it. What does Fury say? Okay, let's do it. But then if I win, then we do maybe 70-30 purse for me if I win. Or he called his bluff, so to speak. And Fury found a way out of that fight. I think Fury and Usyk is probably the best fight to make as far as most competitive in the heavyweight division. The fight that needs to be made, almost like the equivalent of Spence and Crawford. And there's rumors on that as well, too. I saw a couple people, I believe they gave the date June 17th for Crawford versus Spence, which is a great fight and should have happened 3 years ago. But it still hasn't happened, and boxing has been historically accurate or been historically consistent on not letting the best fight the best until well past their age. Where's the link? Oh, I got you, Vaughn. Give me 1 second. AJ versus Wilder, Joyce, Fury, and Baby Miller all in UK for big money, says Jesus. Von Blue says, where's the link? I gotta send you it soon. So we'll be having a conversation with Von Blue, and I'm glad we could have him back. It's been a minute. We'll try to do this weekly, and hopefully Von Blue could clear out his super busy schedule. Von Blue, I want to tell you real quick, we won't have camera. You won't have a camera on my end unless you can do Zoom. So actually, let me try to send you that. Let me try to send you that link and see if that works. Because if that does work, I would rather do that. I wish we could have tried to make it possible. So we'll see. Or we should have tried it before. I heard the Spence Crawford rumors were fake. I was hearing that was a April Fool's joke, and I don't know what to believe. So why not try to confirm that by the good and beneficial website Google and see if that's the case. And I'm looking it up right now. Let me see if I could there it is. Report: Terrence Crawford versus Errol Spence Jr. set for June. That's what I've been seeing by Boxing Ring Magazine is a credible source for the most part. The Errol appears set for June 17th in Las Vegas, the ring. Let's see what we can see on this before we get to it. I don't need the camera. Good. I didn't know if you cared because Trey would care. But I'm glad you don't. And I'm hitting accept and it's not working for me. But sources, let's see what sources revealed the ring that the welterweight super fight between IBF, WBA, and WBC titleist Errol Spence Jr. and WBO counterpart Terrence Crawford to crown an undisputed champion will finally take place in Las Vegas on June 17th. It is believed the official announcements will be made at the Gervonta Davis-Ryan Garcia fight on April 22nd. That will be a sick way to announce that fight. But we don't know if that's true. Boxing News 24, who I see online all the time. Yes, yeah. Let's see if they say the same thing. Yes. That it'll be announced April 22nd. We shall see. How many times have we gotten our hopes up for that fight? My man, Zoma in the building. What's up, Zoma? In the meantime, let me set up a new meeting here and send you. Saw my camera do something super weird. Join with computer audio. Let's see if I can. Yes. Perfect. Let me see if you are muted. Start video. It won't work using that. Let me see if I could use I don't think you care about that, so maybe I could share this screen if you care about that. Give me 1 second. Almost there. Return to meeting. I don't know why I went to a whole other window. And we'll get better at this, of course, right? Of course. Participants, let me share this link. But real quick, why am I not getting the whole video thing? I'm not sure, but let me invite. Copy invite link. Von Blue, let me know when you get it. And we'll get right to it. I gotta find Von Blue in my Discord. That's how long me and him haven't talked. There we go. As far as direct message on Discord. I sent it to you like twice. Excuse me. And I am screen sharing Von. So hopefully this does work. I'm hoping it does, guys. Thank you for the 9 people that are rocking out with me. We're gonna be talking a lot of boxing. We're adding Von Blue in a matter of seconds. Let me know when you join in. Did you post the community tab? I did not because I am horrible. Beta quest. I could do that right now. Create post. There we go. Talking boxing. There we go.
Can you hear me?
You are screen sharing. There are 2 participants.
Hello?
I think he's talking. Let me try something real quick. Hold on a second. Yo.
Hello?
Oh, there we go. Are we going to be able to have some visual of you? Ask to unmute. Ask to start video. If not, we could go to Discord for it. Or we'll start video. Yep. You hear me? I do hear you. I do hear you, Von, if you hear me.
I don't know why I can't hear you.
You hear me now? Yep.
All right. Yeah, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yep, I can hear you. Do you have video?
Yeah, but I ain't getting on.
Oh, you're just gonna talk on the
cool. Yeah.
Cool. That is no problem with me.
Yeah,
I'm hoping you guys could hear. I'm hoping you guys could hear Von Blue pretty clear. I could on my end. Let me know, guys. You think AJ's still popular even if he loses to Wilder? That's a great question. Let's start off with that, and we'll keep interacting with chat, me and Von. So, Von, thank you for being here. Another
yes, sir.
Live boxing stream with my man Von. Vaughn, let's get right to it. Let's say AJ loses to Wilder. Let's talk a little bit about Anthony Joshua. Your thoughts on Jermaine Franklin, and what's the best fight for Anthony Joshua?
All right, so with the Jermaine Franklin fight and AJ, thing is AJ got some, he got some things going on with him, but at the same time, I think we kind of underestimate Jermaine Franklin too. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like the last two fights, he gave Dillian White a tough fight, and he gave AJ a tough fight. Think about Jermaine Franklin. If you look at a boxing standpoint, and he ain't no slouch. Good technical skills. He's got good footwork. He's fast. And I'm not saying that AJ shouldn't have got him out of there, but Jermaine Franklin ain't an easy fight. But thing with AJ is just the mental aspect, and same thing with Wilder. Both of them, it's the mental thing.
You think with the Jermaine Franklin thing, it kind of reminds me most recently. Remember Jaron Ennis versus Chukadzian, where
Mm-hmm.
as good as Jaron Ennis is, right? Boots Ennis, 27 knockouts. He couldn't get him out of there. Chukadzian, who was a relatively
Mm-hmm.
unknown fighter to the casual fan, but he couldn't get him out. And it's one of those things where like you could be as good as you want, but if a boxer is good enough to not get knocked out, there are those out there that would just cruise to a decision just to say I went a full 12 and he hasn't done this in forever.
Yeah, I think the thing about Chukadzian is Chukadzian comes from Ukraine. And if you look at some of the Ukrainian fighters of the past 20 years, they're highly technical skilled. Look at
Right.
Usyk, look at Klitschko's. You know what I'm saying? You look at Viktor Postol, you look at Sergey Deveryanchenko. A lot of them Ukrainian boys, they're very technically sound. And the thing about Chukadzian, his style is not appeasing, but he's so damn technically sound. He ain't finna let you punch on him. You know what I'm saying? He ain't finna let you walk him down, and he ain't finna let you punch on him. You're gonna have to earn it. And then they smart in the ring. And I think that's the thing about guys like Jermaine Franklin. No, he's not like the best style, but Jermaine Franklin ain't easy to beat.
Right.
We ain't seen that against two top 10 heavyweights. I don't know what to tell you. You know what I'm
It,
saying?
is
But
Ukraine like the new Cuba right now because we're seeing a lot of
shit,
these right?
they've
Yeah,
been Cuba for a while. Ukraine got some good fighters, man.
but they're getting
Past 20
recognition now,
years.
which is really nice, especially with Usyk kind of being on the forefront of that as well too.
Yeah, the
Um,
Klitschko brothers put them on the map, but they don't get, the Klitschko brothers don't get that love, but that's a
right.
different conversation.
Yeah, they don't get love for being like some of the best heavyweights of all time as far as
Yeah,
like
being some of the most dominant heavyweights. I mean, their era, you can't blame it on their era. Like they, you can't. I mean, they can't be around the time Muhammad Ali and all these other great heavyweights were around, even in the '90s. But that's a different thing. But yeah, I mean, and as for Wilder and AJ, I mean, it's a good fight. It's gonna sell. It's gonna put butts in the seats and stuff like that. But at this point in their career, is like I don't like the options are starting to wear down.
yeah, as far as big money fights in the heavyweight division, right?
Yeah, starting to
That's what
wear
I'm kind
down.
of like was alluding to. There's not there was a moment it looked hopeful when it was when Anthony Joshua still had that kind of like mystique of like, oh, he might be the best heavyweight in the division, right? And then you had Wilder knocking everyone out, but he didn't have any big name on his resume and people were unsure. And Fury, do you think it's dying down a little bit right now in the heavyweight division?
Yeah, I think it is because the thing with the heavyweight division is you look at all the top four heavyweights, all of them are in their mid 30s.
Right.
You know, Fury's what? AJ's like 33, 34. Fury's 36, I think now. Wilder's 38. Usyk's 36. It's like we don't have too many like young. Well, I mean, there's some good heavyweights out there, young ones, but it's getting to the point where we got to make certain fights happen, or it's just it's kind of coming to the end of this little era. You know what I'm saying?
Do you see anybody kind of rising up like a maybe like a Jared Anderson or
Yeah, it's
any
Jared
other
Anderson.
star? Hmm.
Jared Anderson. You got the Uzbek. You got this Uzbek heavyweight. I forgot. It's like two of them. It's one Uzbek heavyweight and there's Jared Anderson. There's some young guys out there, but it's going to take time for them to grow. I think Jared Anderson has the most visibility for young heavyweights, but it's this one Uzbek heavyweight, man. This kid, this dude, he is good. Oof, he's good. But it's gonna take some time before they both kind of get on the scene.
Eh,
So
right.
yeah, go ahead.
The problem is too that they got to find a way to kind of make themselves marketable,
Market.
right?
Mm-hmm.
And that's the tough part with the language barrier in the U.S. If they
Yeah,
want
with
to
the
appeal to
Uzbek
an
kid.
American crowd. I like Usyk a lot. I remember before he even got the Anthony Joshua fight, I'm like, man, this guy's good. I don't know if he's gonna fare well in the heavyweight division. And now that he beat Joshua twice, he's doing all right. But
Yeah.
is he like the biggest name in the world? No, but he's one of the most skilled, and I would like to see him against, man, if we could get that Fury fight, a Wilder fight, I doubt will ever happen. But imagine that, right? Like if Usyk gets these big names, what do you think is gonna happen with Usyk like nowadays? Do you think he's gonna move on to the Dubois fight?
Dubois fight. I
Yeah,
mean,
the
I
Dubois
think
fight.
yeah, I think it might happen, depending on it seems like with him and Fury, if they
Yeah.
can't okay, I think Usyk will take this fight. Now maybe afterwards we can get that fight, but I do think Usyk gonna fight Dubois.
Yeah, I think the WBC is like mandating it, right? I believe.
WBA, yeah, they mandating it.
Yeah, and
But the
I don't.
reality is
Mhm.
sometimes fighters don't follow their mandate. The WBC ordered Shakur Stevens and Isaac Cruz to fight for the WBC, secondary title, and they could fight Haney, but they didn't make it happen. You know what I'm saying?
Right, right. Which, yeah, like so. Let's see what happens. But I like Fury, and I hope we're not wasting his best years. How old is
Hmm.
Usyk right now? Because, 36. He's 36 years old, so he's not no what is it called?
Now ain't
Spring
no
chicken,
spring
I guess.
chicken.
Right.
Mm.
He's up there in age as well too. And with the problems in his country, and who knows if he has other things that he's focused on, or just maybe
Yeah,
he
he
just gets
definitely
tired.
do.
He gets one more check and he gets out of here. I don't know. I would love to see the
Nah,
the Fury fight. My opinion, Vaughn, is that Fury doesn't want that smoke. How do you feel about that?
in my opinion, I feel like okay. I do think that Tyson Fury does want to fight Usyk, but I think the problem is he knows this fight is a risk. He knows it's a tough fight, and he knows it's a risk. So he's trying to get as much as he can. He don't want no rematch. He's trying to get the biggest pot of pot. I understand he's the more known fighter. He puts butts in the seats, but he wants to be unreasonable. He don't want no rematch. He don't want none of that. You know what I'm saying? He did like, but with him and Wilder, it was the easiest negotiation I ever seen for a two fight.
Yeah, like so that I mean, it's hard not to believe that he's simply ducking him. I mean,
Yeah, it's kind
I
of
don't know. Like, is like, how do you
But
feel
then
about
people
that
do,
accusation?
but Tyson Fury leaves that for the imagination. That's the problem. Because with the 70-30 split, no rematch, he leaves it for the imagination. I don't think Fury's scared of Usyk. Hell no. I highly doubt any fighter at that level is scared of another fighter. But I think Fury trying to boss hog the situation a little too much.
But you mentioned the Wilder fight and how like it wasn't that complicated to make it over
Mm-mm.
there. So making
Was
Usyk
it?
that
The first two fights
complicated,
wasn't complicated at all.
right? If anything, Wilder gave him the shot, so to speak, right? They talked about it before. Um,
Mhm.
so remember he had the whole drug problem, depression. He was overweight. He kind of like came back to and
Yeah.
Wilder was on top of the world at the time. Um, I don't know. Listen, to me, Vaughn, it looks
Hmm.
like to me the man is
Ducking.
ducking a bit. Yeah, I'm like I just
I beat King Duck, Tyson Fury.
and it's crazy because he's essentially pound for pound the best fighter in the world, right? Like is what it seems like to me. You can say right as far as the best
Yeah,
heavyweight fighter, maybe not pound for pound, but um it seems like to me that style of Usyk is something that he wants no problems with.
I mean, I do think I don't,
Usyk
man.
is small
I
though, right?
guess
So
it's not even about the size. I just think that Fury knows this is gonna be one of his toughest challenges of his career. He knows it. You know what I'm saying? He know Usyk got some skill sets that he ain't never dealt with against a heavyweight. He knows that he ain't never dealt with no heavyweight with that skill set. an IQ. He's never have. He can sit there and like, oh, nah, you never have.
Yeah,
You
who has
maybe
he
dealt with
fought
some
on it?
size, power. You know what I'm saying? I mean, Usyk. I mean, Klitschko's got some good boxing skills, but Usyk's boxing skills is on a whole nother level. You know what I'm saying? The angles, the footwork, everything that sets up the traps, and the high level energy that other heavyweights can't kind of contend with. You know what I'm saying?
If you
And
look at Fury's record, there's nobody there that maybe was a better just strictly boxer than
yeah,
Fury,
skill wise and IQ and
skill
stuff.
wise.
Yeah, I doubt
Right.
it. I mean, Klitschko and Steve Cunningham. I would say those are the two most skilled boxers he fought in his
Yeah.
career.
And that was back in what, like 2015. So now you have
Yeah, that was a while ago. You
right.
know,
Since then he hasn't fought anybody with the pedigree of like Usyk, man. Like Usyk is really that special, in my honest opinion. I think he's
but
I
I
think he's that
don't think
good. That's
Fury's
why
scared
I
though.
claim the duck. I don't think he's scared. I think he's ducking though. Like
Ducking.
I'm not getting 70-30. I'm not gonna do it.
No
I don't need
rematch.
I don't want to take that risk. Not that he's
No
scared.
rematch.
Yeah, no rematch clause. Like this guy, like
This is the heavyweight division. And Fury, who else you gonna fight outside of him and AJ that's gonna bring you that kind of revenue?
he's being a diva, so to speak. But look, that's why if I'm Fury right now, Vaughn, I take the AJ fight in a heartbeat. Tell me where to sign, right? Because that performance
Yeah,
by
I ain't gonna
Anthony
lie. If I'm
Joshua,
Fury, yeah, I would take the fight. If AJ is really serious, I'll take it because it's gonna be big in the UK.
as much as the boxing purist will say, "Oh, it should have been Fury, it should have been Usyk," it's gonna
Yeah,
be
it should.
easy to sell the Anthony Joshua fight, and he can
Yeah, but
easily
it's
say Joshua's the bigger
yeah.
star. Hmm.
I hear you on that one, Miller. But him and Usyk, man, we haven't had an undisputed champion in 20 years, and I think
No,
him and Usyk will.
right. That's what should happen, in my opinion, too. I agree.
I think internationally wise, I think him and Usyk be bigger. I think in the UK, Fury
Think
and
so?
Joshua will be big. I think
You think
internationally,
you
but
think
in
it'll
the
sell more
UK, yes, Fury.
pay-per-views?
Nah.
See, that's the thing. Like that's the easy
Nah.
argument.
I
That's what
know.
I'm saying.
I
Like,
know.
and Anthony Joshua, at the end of the day, he's a
Draw.
huge star. Yeah, he's a huge draw. And I'm not saying it's right. Trust me. Like, if it's me, it has to be Usyk. But you know how boxing goes. Fury could easily say, "Oh, couldn't make it happen with Usyk. Joshua was the next best thing. This is what the fans want. This is what I gave them." And the people bite that bait and they take it. That's all I'm
But I
saying.
think it could be
Mhm.
but I think people will be some sourness to it that might hurt it, especially after AJ's
You
last
think so?
performance. I mean,
I don't know, man. I don't know if
I
I
don't
agree
know
with.
neither.
Yeah,
I don't know neither.
yeah.
I can't really call that one because to be honest, it's like they're gonna sell though, especially in the
They're gonna
UK.
they're gonna sell well. And after seeing Joshua, with the performance that he put, why not
Yeah,
take that Anthony Joshua's fight? Going back to Anthony Joshua, Vaughn,
yeah.
um, talk to me a little bit more about that fight. I know Jermaine Franklin was like a tough opponent. Let's say Fury's off the table. What do you give Joshua next? Like a couple ideas on Joshua.
Well, I think a good fight for Joshua. I'm gonna be honest. I would say these are the two opponents I think is good for him after that performance. A rematch with Dillian White or a fight with either these two guys, Otto Walling or what's his name? Who did I say? Or Philip Herkovich.
Do you like Joe Joyce at all, or is not a fight that you're
No,
like,
no, 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 no. AJ don't need to fight him next. Nah.
why? Why so?
No, 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 no.
Why?
No.
You think he loses?
Yeah, he could possibly lose to the Juggernaut because Joe Joyce coming after him. Ain't no sitting back. Ain't no Joe Joyce ain't trying. Nah, Joe Joyce is coming.
Joshua is known as being a risk taker. You saw that with Usyk, where he didn't have to give him the shot either. A Joe Joyce win will look
Nah,
good
he
on the
needs to stay away from
resume.
Joe Joyce right now. He need to let
Yeah.
Fury handle that work or Usyk right now.
So you like
Nah,
Dillian White or Derek Chisora? Oh, I'm
no.
sorry, not
Dilly,
Dillian
Otto
White and
Walling or
right.
Philip Herkovich, just so he has more time to train with Derek James and keep building his confidence up, getting his confidence kind of back.
No, that's fair, and you can say that Tyson Fury got cut up by Otto Wallin, and maybe if Anthony Joshua has a strong, good performance, that's an argument of why he deserves a Tyson Fury fight. Even though I think, me personally, I think Tyson Fury washes. I think Tyson Fury washes Anthony Joshua right now at this point of both of their careers. To be quite
Fair
honest.
enough.
But let's move on to another
Yeah,
topic
let's
that I
move
had
on.
in mind, bro. We'll get to
Uh-oh.
Canelo about wanting Bivol from what I've been
Yeah,
hearing, but
yeah.
Gervonta Davis, Ryan Garcia. I saw the All Access. I don't know if you saw, so I don't want to spoil it.
Yes, I did.
Okay, cool. What do you think about the whole episode? The conversations that they were having when they were being interviewed. How do you feel about this? Do you feel any more confident in your pick? How do you feel?
I mean, from watching the thing is like I watched it and I seen that both. I mean, from what I seen is like okay, they had the interviews, they talked to the fighters. Ryan Garcia. He talked about how he felt about coming in towards this fight, and Gervonta Davis. He's still complaining about the weight thing. You
Is
know what
that
I'm
weird?
saying?
Is the whole weight
He's
complaining
still
weird?
waiting. I'm gonna tell you what the issue I had with the weight thing, what Ryan Garcia was, is this. Okay, Ryan, I went to go see you fight in July, my brother. I was there. I went to go see
Mm-hmm.
him fight Fortuna. Went down there and went to LA. You waited 138 that day. You've never fought at 140 pounds. You say you walk around at 150. Like you've only fought at 140 once, and you didn't even wasn't even 140. You was 138.
So
So what?
why the excuses you think?
I don't. It could be a mind game. It could
Right?
be
I've heard that
Ryan playing
argument.
mind games.
Mm-hmm.
Ryan could make it. Playing those mind games, creating that excuse. Creating that narrative to help sell the fight. Like, oh,
Right.
you were, I'm weight drained. I'm this. I'm that. I'm this, and that. So it create one. It helps create a narrative. Two, it also helps Ryan if he wins, sell it even. Creates this star even more, creates the aura about him more. I was weight drained and I still knocked him out at the weight class he wanted, and I took on the
Mm.
rematch. I did everything. You know what I'm saying? Oh yeah, Ryan. Yeah, I think it's a mind game. I think Ryan's gonna be fine on weight. He's never fought at 140. He's never even been 140 pounds when he came into a fight.
So how do you feel about him doing? Like, are you okay with him playing the mind games or setting up the excuse? If that's the
Yeah,
case, like, are you okay with that?
I'm not cool with him trying to set up an excuse, but if mind game wise, I'm all for it.
Like, it's
Don't
all
I
fair
don't want
game.
to hear that huh?
It's all fair play. You're saying basically.
Well, not all fair play because I don't want him to use it as an excuse if
Mm-hmm.
he loses. You signed a contract, Ryan. You wanted this fight. You've been screaming. You've been hollering. You've been yelling for 2 years. You got it. No excuses, my brother. You take your same thing with Tank. You lose, you lose. Ain't no
Uh,
excuses from neither one side. I don't want to hear that shit.
uh, on the other hand, Von, I look at Gervonta Davis, and guys, you guys tell me in the chat how you guys feel about Davis, but I see a look in his eyes like he really wants this fight, and I know that's very like just me having a perspective, and who knows if I'm right or
Yeah.
wrong. But he looks focused. He looks like he's taking Ryan Garcia serious as well too. Not only not only does he want this fight bad, but he's not like underestimating him. He said himself in the episode like I don't want to get hit by anything. As if he's preparing for Ryan Garcia's best game plan if he does come in with a game plan. Davis is scary, man. I picked Davis early, and I'll tell you that. Like I have no problem saying that. But
Yeah.
I still feel Ryan Garcia may not have much to offer besides his speed and power that'll diminish pretty quickly.
Ryan, yeah. I mean, I've watched video. I got to see him fight in the flesh. I've watched Ryan fight throughout his career. Ryan's got some hand speed. He's got some power. He's got some things to himself. He's not like just limitless, but I mean limited. But
Mhm.
I just think skill wise, he doesn't just have enough to deal with Tank. He has speed, he has power, he has heart, but I just don't think he got enough skill wise. You know, from watching him, He throws that left hook a million times. I mean, he
And
throws the
imagine it,
jab.
nobody has been able to threaten him back when he throws that. You know what I mean? Like, what
Well,
if Tank like throws a left straight
the
down
right
the
hook over
middle,
on top of it, or he
or
comes
even
over the
that?
top and slips it, hits him in the body. I mean, Ryan has a good jab. I mean, his jab is cool, but Ryan he's got some tendencies that where
Hmm.
when you push the pace on him, he just goes straight back in the line.
Closes
And
his eyes sometimes, puts the chin up. Which, like,
well, not
imagine
so
having
much
your
the
chin
chin
up
up.
against
He just tries to
Tank.
post with his hands a lot. He
He
tries to
does that.
post with his hands.
Yes, yes.
And
Hmm.
that's a problem. And when he throws his jab, he doesn't get his lead hand back up to his chin. It's not even about him putting his chin. He'll throw the jab and he'll keep throwing it. And like he doesn't throw enough straight punches for a guy with his height.
You know what people
And
don't
I think
mention enough either? I feel like too Davis. I'm sorry, Davis. They don't talk about Gervonta Davis' chin, and I'm saying, of course, Ryan Garcia could hurt him, but I feel like Tank is pretty durable trading wise. Even if he gets caught by something big by Ryan, I don't think it's going to be one punch to get him out of there. Or do you think I'm mistaken by that? You think Ryan Garcia has that one punch power to just get him out of there?
I think Ryan got power, but in order to get Tank with a one punch,
Mhm.
like in order for him to get Ryan like Tank out of there with one punch, it's got to be like how Ryan's got guys out there with one punch. You
Mhm.
know what I'm saying? It's got to be something where Tank don't see coming, or he runs right into the punch, or he slips it, and Ryan times him correctly.
And with everything at stake, right? I don't see Tank overcommitting on a punch. I see him being very patient. And I can't see Garcia out boxing him for a full 12 rounds or a majority of the 12 rounds. You know what I mean? That's why like I feel like I have to go Gervonta Davis. Um, let me look at the
It,
odds while we talk a bit more. But what were you gonna
yeah,
say
it's
earlier? I'm
not to
sorry. Mhm.
diminish. It's not to diminish Ryan, and I'm not diminishing Ryan at all. I think Ryan has power and speed, and that it's dangerous. You know what I'm
Of
saying?
course,
Tank
of
get,
course.
he
Mhm.
catch Tank with something, he can probably hurt him, put him to sleep. But the problem is, this comes down to the skill. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? And it comes to like, if Plan A don't work, what's Plan B? If this is not working, and I just feel like Tank on the fly can adjust better than Ryan, and I think that's going to be the key to getting him the
Mhm.
victory. I got eighth or ninth round knockout. I think it's not going to be the most like fun fight. I don't. I honestly don't think it's gonna be a bunch of punches being thrown and stuff. I think it's gonna be kind of slow pace, kind of a chess match. And I think in the mid rounds is gonna open up a little bit more. But I just think Tank has shown over time that he can adjust to certain things. And I just feel like that's the key. I just think on the fly, he's just better. You know what I'm saying? And
Um,
that's it.
to what you said about you don't think it's going to be the most eventful fight, right? Which I thought you said something along those lines, right?
Yeah.
I that's a good point because it made me think of like how Tank's fights are like in his previous fights in history. The Barrios fight and the Leo Santa Cruz fight, that was a little bit interesting until the knockout. Like it did, but against Rolly, it wasn't the most entertaining till the knockout came. Against Isak Cruz wasn't the most entertaining, but despite that, he finds a way to win, and I think he's always remembered because even though his fights not might not be the most entertaining until the knockout eventually always happens, and then that's what people remember, and that's why he has become the star that he is. I mean, finding the knockout against Gamboa in the 12th round, and a bunch of knockouts even before that. But then that Leo Santa Cruz uppercut, it was a decent fight, but it wasn't the most eventful fight.
Yeah.
And then he gets that knockout in the 6th round
No,
against
well, him
Mario
and Leo was
Barrios.
kind
It
of
was
fun.
interesting.
Him and Leo was going at it.
Yeah, no, that wasn't a bad fight at all. But if you look at
No,
the
him and
Isak
Leo was
Cruz fight,
chucking him.
maybe that was his toughest challenge to
Yeah.
date. And his hand was injured as well too. Is a argument that people say, but you're right. This Garcia fight, Davis might make it quote unquote boring, if that's a
Well,
fair word to use.
both fighters are patient in what they
Hmm.
do. Like I've watched both of them fight. I've seen like Ryan and Tank ain't
Hmm.
finna rush nothing. They gonna be looking to set traps.
Who do you
like
think is
all
gonna
night.
let their hands go first, man? Let's get down to the nitty gritty.
I don't
Like,
know. I think Ryan gonna be trying to get that jab going early, so I think Ryan is gonna do it, let his hands go a little bit. But I think Ryan is gonna be like trying to create that distance. You know what I'm saying? He's gonna be trying to create distance at the space he needs to. You know, at the space he needs to. He's gonna try to create distance at that space, like keeping the jab on him, coming forward on him. You know, taking away, making Tank move around the ring and stuff like that. You know, that's the key. But I think for Ryan that really have a chance in his punt fight is those straight punches. Don't just look to always throw them hooks and stuff and things of that nature. And early go to the body. Attack his body, throw the jet. But I don't know. Ryan ain't. I don't know. I don't know about
li-
this one.
li- I'm really thinking about these things like as we speak. So I'm glad we're having this conversation.
Yeah,
I'm really thinking, Von. Um, Imagine you're Ryan Garcia. I'm just hypothetically talking, right?
yeah.
Like imagine you're Ryan Garcia and your game plan to what you said earlier. You said we have seen Tank adjust, right? Imagine you're
Mm.
Ryan Garcia trying to keep him on the outside and you're not able to. Imagine how scared one might be where Tank is closing the distance, landing some shots, and you can't keep him off for you. He might demoralize Ryan Garcia, so to speak, where Ryan Garcia is trying to use that jab, trying to box with him, and Tank is making it somewhat of a scrappy fight from the inside. I just don't think Garcia is going to be able to deal with all that well, man. I think Tank is mean, man. He's small, but he's like, and that power behind his punches too. Garcia hasn't seen that. Like,
Yeah,
Luke Campbell
but
hit him with the best shot that he's ever got caught with, and Campbell isn't known as a big puncher, and he knocked him down pretty bad, right? Imagine Tank landing a left hook like that.
I think the key, but the thing is with Ryan is Ryan has to like and physically like let him know like I'm the bigger man early. You know what I'm saying? He doesn't have to throw a bunch of punches, but he has to put pressure on Tank.
Right.
He has to
And
put pressure on Tank. He can't give him a chance to start thinking and computing and figuring it out and getting reads. He has to be in his face early. And it doesn't mean getting in his face early means you got to be throwing punches and be hella aggressive. Just taking that space from him, making him reset over and over. You know what I'm saying? We seen with Rolly. Rolly was able to land that jab, and it was effective.
Rolly is such a weird fighter, though. Like sometimes
Mhm.
he's like so his timing is weird, his
Yeah,
stance,
yeah.
the way he
Rolly
throws
is a
punches.
wild boy.
You know what I mean?
Rolly,
Sometimes those kind of fighters give you like the most problems. I feel like
yeah, they're not
maybe
predictable.
right. I feel like Tank could maybe pick up on patterns for Ryan Garcia too much. I sound so pessimistic, but I
You
usually like
do.
like rooting. I right like
Miller, like, bro, this is gonna be a quick night. It was
I
like take Rob in the bank.
I like rooting for the underdog. I usually almost always root for the underdog.
Yeah, but you said,
Um,
nah, this is cleats.
but
Hang
this
it up.
this this one I just can't get on board with. I can't see Ryan Garcia. Um, I can't see him. I can see him hurting Tank if he landed cleanly. I can't see Tank giving him that opportunity.
Yeah, I can't neither. I can't. I
It's
mean, and I'm not trying to like. I think Ryan has a chance. You know what I'm saying? But we have, but it just seemed like as the fight goes on and Tank, and Tank, he like, Berber ain't no fool in that ring. He's pretty intelligent, and I just like Ryan got some things he do. I'm just like, you can't do that with Tank. You can't be just trying to post with your hands wide open. You can't be just going in the back of the center of the line. You can't just chase. You can't just follow him around the ring. You gotta be able to bring some different elements to him. You know what I'm saying? And like if you just throwing the left hook and the jab, the left hook, trying to catch him with that left hook, you know what I'm saying? Ryan got to use that right hand. I think straight punches will be key. If he's throwing the 1-2 and in timing him with that right hand, he might can catch Tank. But if he just sitting there throwing the jab, trying to throw the left hook, come over top of it, man, Tank gonna start picking that shit apart.
remember Leo Santa Cruz when he threw like what was it, three consecutive jabs
Mm.
and Tank timed the third one, slipped it and
Yep.
landed that left uppercut. If Garcia throws out any patterns out there that is just so like too
Over and over.
predictable,
Yeah,
oh
Ryan Tank
man,
gonna get
it's
him.
gonna
Tank
be
gonna
like a
get him.
Leo Santa Cruz type of situation. So I feel like you're helping me feel stronger about how I feel about Davis. Like we'll see
I
what
give
happens.
Davis a
Like, you know.
chance. I'm not. I give
Mm,
Ryan a chance. I'm not saying Ryan don't have a chance, but like I
mm.
said, I think it's gonna be eighth to ninth round knockout. I just think Tank gonna catch him. You know what I'm saying?
I do think it's gonna
Tank
take
gonna
a
pick up
while
on.
though. I agree with you because Tank
I
is a
think it's gonna
slow
take some
starter by
time though.
nature.
Yeah,
You think what?
that, but it's also he has to be careful with Ryan. He can't. You know what I'm saying? He got to be careful
Right.
with the kid.
You
You got to be
say
careful.
you said ninth round?
Yeah, I say eighth or ninth round. It'll be the
Eighth or
eighth or
ninth?
ninth round.
I'm gonna have to go with
He said,
gun
he said it's gonna be early night. People gonna be pissed. They spent
gun
that
to my
fucking
head.
fourth or fifth. He damn. He
I don't
said,
think it's that early. I don't think it's that early. I don't think it's that early. I'm gonna go seventh. That might be a little too late, but I'm gonna go seventh. Uh
damn.
maybe even earlier, honestly. Maybe, and Ryan is durable. Don't get like, like, or
Yeah,
we
Ryan
don't
got
even like,
heart in the chin.
he has heart. I mean, the way he got knocked down by
He
Campbell
got a
pretty
heart.
cleanly. Campbell's not the biggest puncher, but he got up and he fought through it and he made a comeback.
Stopped
Nice
it.
left hook to the body, stopped Campbell as well too. Gotta give him credit for that. I just listen, man. I just think he's a nightmare, man. He's a nightmare. He really wants this fight too, and it's kind of like before this Ryan Garcia fight. What fight did he really want this bad?
Rolly.
You think he want like? I think he
Yeah.
wanted that fight bad, but I don't think he thought of Rolly as a threat as much as Garcia. I think he really thinks of Garcia as a threat.
No, he does. Ryan,
Yeah.
that's the thing. Tank thinks he's a threat, and Ryan
Mhm.
thinks of him as a threat. You know what I'm saying? I
Yeah.
think both fighters understand the danger of this fight. You know what I'm saying? Both guys understand there's a threat. You know what I'm saying? You guys got some boxing skills, but that threat is there. You know what I'm saying? Tank know if he make mistake, Ryan might.
And has he ever felt that before though? Is what I'm saying. Like, do you believe he
I
has?
think
Because I
felt
don't think
it in
he
his career.
has. Was
I
that?
think he's felt some danger in his career. I think when he fought
Yeah.
Rolly, maybe not as a threat. Esau Cruz, I think he felt the threat with Esau. I
Yeah,
think he
but
felt the threat.
I think he felt it during the fight. I don't know if he felt it before. You know what I mean? Or you think I'm tripping? You think he felt it even before? Like, I thought he hurt his hand and he's like, oh snap, like it's getting interesting. I gotta really pick up the pace and outbox this guy. I don't remember seeing Davis talk about Esau Cruz the way he's talking about Ryan Garcia prior to the fight and what this fight means. This is a big fight as far as like for his career because of how big of a star Ryan Garcia is, And if he loses to him,
but outside of that, that's really what this fight is just a popularity contest fight.
Yeah.
I hate to say it.
Which is a big deal.
Fight.
You want to be the biggest lightweight box office star, you got to win this fight.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's a popularity contest.
I'm all for it, man. I'm not gonna lie. Yeah. Like I'm all for it this time. I mean, I would love to see these four young guys, the Haney, Shakur, Ryan Garcia, and Gervonta. I would love to see them all fight each other. Boxing politics and how it goes.
Oh no, this ain't MMA. This ain't happening.
But to transition, we are getting Haney and Lomachenko, and we haven't talked about this before. Ryan in the 7th. Let me do something crazy, says Zelme. Hito in the building. What's up, Hito? Welcome to the stream. We got some more trade dirt that we'll talk about as well too. What's up, Hito? What's up, Beta? This is really great that I'm having a back and forth conversation with Von. So thank you, Von. Von, by the way, too, in 5 minutes, the remaining meeting time on Zoom stops. So I'll just call you on Discord if we can keep the conversation going, just so you know.
Okay.
I got like 5 minutes left. As far as Haney and Lomachenko, good fight. Haney looks massive next to Lomachenko is what I will say. Lomachenko looks like he's focused. He believes that Haney's a threat from the interviews that I've watched Lomachenko talk about Haney. I'll admit it to you live on air as well too. I'm a Haney fan. I can't even look up or at the camera while I'm saying that. I like Devin Haney, man, as a fighter. That jab that he employed against Kambosos was a thing of beauty. I'm not gonna lie. Kambosos knew he had no chance of winning, and I kind of like, even though Haney doesn't have the strongest punching power, I kind of like that he has the ability to like I feel like his opponents know that I can't win this fight unless I put pressure, and if I do, he keeps hitting me with his jab. Like I like him kind of demoralizing his opponents, and what he did to Kambosos. I felt like that's what he did. Now Lomachenko is a good fight as well too. Talk to me about that fight, Lomachenko and Haney. How do you feel about it? What does this mean, and who do you got winning?
For this fight, I mean, honestly, like seeing this fight, it's a good fight. You know what I'm saying? It's
Mm-hmm.
the second best fight. It's like one of the best fights you can make in 135. You know, Haney and Loma ain't getting Tank and Ryan. So what other fight can you make outside of that? That's a big fight. You make him and Loma. Loma is a, you know, multi-weight champion. He's been unified in multiple divisions, been lineal. You know, he's a great legacy type of fight if you're Devin Haney. And for Loma, this is a great legacy fight for him to become undisputed almost again in the same weight class and knock off a young bull like Devin Haney. That'd be huge for his career. It's already, I mean, his career, he's already solidified. But at this age and what's going on in Ukraine, for him to knock off Devin Haney, that would be huge. So I'm interested in the fight. I know it's not going to be no slobber knocker. I know the
Right,
excitement is not
right.
as much as Tank and Ryan is. I know that. I know they're not going to do the same number. We're well aware of that. But I'm still excited for the fight. Not because I'm a fan of Devin Haney, you know, Devin
Mm,
from Oakland, all that good stuff, all that, you
right.
know, but it's just for his legacy for both fighters. It matters. I mean, as much as people don't care about the titles as much anymore,
Mm-hmm.
but I mean, for an undisputed belt fight to happen in boxing in this day and age, it's rare. You know what I'm saying? It's very rare. You know, so I give the undisputed fights that, and I think it's a good fight. I mean, entertainment wise, it might be good. You know what I'm saying? You know, but at the end of the day, it's a quality fight. I think both of these guys got a lot on the line to earn, you know, and I think whoever wins this fight just helps them more in their career. For Devin, it definitely, you know, boosts his profile. And the same thing for Loma, you know, beating this guy at this age and beating a young top level fighter like Devin Haney, that's huge, man. 23-year-old undisputed. Yeah. So, and go ahead, Miller. My bad.
No, but listen, you can always go as much as you want. I feel like I got a hot take for you. Zelman
Yeah,
says
go
Miller
ahead.
like pillow hands. Can't trust his opinion. Um,
Oh my God.
the dream is about to box us to sleep, but he's gonna bully the little Ukrainian. Listen, I have a hot take, man.
Was asleep. Damn.
What
God damn. Y'all
one
gotta
of
get
two
off my
things.
boy. Leave him alone.
Pillow hands
Damn.
is a great moniker for my
God
boy
damn.
Haney.
Your box was asleep.
Look, I feel like one or two things is gonna happen, and I do believe the latter is gonna happen. Von.
Yeah.
All right, one is Lomachenko gets a little bit too aggressive, and Haney maybe
Sometimes.
hurts and even puts down Lomachenko, especially at 135. Is not Loma's small. What is he like? Naturally, like a 126 pounder is where he was most comfortable at fighting. He's small for the division, right? Is it unfair? No, because he's choosing to go up. He's a skilled boxer. This is what I hot take. This is what I think is gonna happen. Let me actually call you on Discord and I'll finish this. Let me do that now
All right.
because I know that's about to hang up.
All right.
Let me end this. Let me call him here. I'm ready. Yo, yo, yo. Yo, yo, yo. If you hear me, I don't hear you.
You hear me?
Yep, yep. You hear me?
Yo.
Yep, you hear me? I hear you. I don't think he hears me. Give me 1 second. I could fix this real quick.
You hear me?
2 seconds, guys. Yo, yo, you hear me now? Yo, yo, you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, I can hear you perfect. Cool. We're good.
Yeah, I'm good.
Okay. My hot take, Von, is I think this is what's gonna happen. This fight is gonna be maybe before the knockout if Davis knocks out Garcia or vice versa. I think this fight is gonna be more entertaining than the Ryan Garcia Gervonta Davis fight. I think it's gonna be somewhat close. I believe that we're gonna get maybe one of the best versions of Lomachenko we've ever seen, although he still might fall somewhat short because Haney's that good. But I don't think I think Lomachenko learned his lessons against Teofimo on coming on too late. I also don't think he could do that against someone like Haney that is gonna maybe establish that jab. The difference between a Haney and a Teofimo is that Lopez could have hurt Lomachenko almost at any time in the fight where I don't think Haney's going to be that strong as far as like, hurt him if he lands his first clean punch. I think he's going to take a punch from Haney better. I think this is going to be a chess match that Lomachenko arrives for. I think it's going to be a close fight. And I think it's going to go to decision. I think it'll go the full 12. And it'll probably be a split decision for Haney or unanimous. But I think it'll be closer than people imagine. I think people are sleeping on Lomachenko. And I think he's going to show out this fight. What do you have to say to that?
Hey, that's a great take. I can't even argue with it because the truth is that it is. Because Loma's active. He's not the type of guy that's just going to sit there and not push the pace. I think he's going to push the pace. And I think it's going to be, shit. Yeah, I think it could become a close fight. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, Haney's great at creating distance and controlling the distance and the flow of a fight. But the thing about Loma is, all them angles and movement and feinting and all that stuff, he will get, he will, yeah. I'm with you on that one. I think it's going to be it might be entertaining. It might be more entertaining than what people think.
I feel like with Lomachenko, Vaughn, I feel that a lot of people feel that Lomachenko is older, too small for the division, and are kind of writing him off. And then with Haney's boxing skill, I think they're basically saying, look, they're both really good boxers, but Haney's the bigger man, therefore Haney wins.
Nah, you can't get caught up in that.
No, I agree. I just think that's how like most boxing fans feel that way, and that's why they pick Haney. I could be wrong, but I feel like a lot of people feel that way. But if anybody sees something that we haven't seen, or from Haney, it's is Lomachenko. If anybody, of course, Haney has looked near flawless in his career. If there's anybody that can find something and use it for his own favor, for his advantage, right? I think it's Lomachenko, man, and we might see something special that night when Lomachenko fights Haney.
You never know.
I almost want to go Lomachenko the more I think about it, man. It's just a 135 thing. No, it's just a 135 thing. It's just he's small, man. That reach, height is gonna be. It's an uphill battle, man. It's really an uphill battle. It's a classic tale of two fighters that are the best in their division respectively, right? If you think of Lomachenko as a smaller guy, but Haney just might be a little bit too big, a little bit too quick at this point in both of their careers. What's up, Icy Breezy? But I need to think about this a little bit more. But with all that being said, Icy Breezy might be right in saying I see Haney breaking Loma in every round. So Vaughn, talk to us a little bit more about this fight. Any chance for Lomachenko, or you have to go with Haney? I know you're the biggest Haney fan out there, so I don't expect you to talk without bias.
Well,
I'm just messing with you, bro.
For Lomachenko, there's a chance for Lomachenko because Lomachenko's done well. You know who I think about who was a great pure boxer that he fought and he kind of broke. And I know it's different. You can't use triangle theories. Rigondeaux.
Of course, I like that triangle theories. I never really hear that.
You can't really use triangle theories.
They call it MMA math, right? Like that's what.
Yeah, they call it in boxing. We call it triangle theory.
Right.
I've been watching MMA for. We used to call it in old days. I know you're a little too young.
Yeah. No,
I know you didn't come with the first generation MMA. I know you wasn't with us. You wasn't on the boat.
right.
You know what I'm saying?
I'm here being educated.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? I know you had the 2013 kids. You know what I'm saying? Y'all got
I'm playing what were you saying about Rigondeaux? Because we were actually talking about him after the Anthony Joshua fight.
Rigondeaux is an excellent Cuban-style, pure type of boxer.
Right.
And he's a smaller guy. He was coming up weight and stuff. But one thing Loma was able to break him mentally. Because Loma's style, but Loma was younger. It was at a lighter weight, So I do think Loma can make this fight difficult. He's fought a great boxer before. He's fought a guy who knows how to create distance, is tactically astute, and all that good stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like the sweet science, as they call it. But there's different kinds of sweet science. But he definitely... Loma definitely got a chance to fight. It's not like he's just because he's older and, he's at a lighter weight class. He was unified champion at this weight class, almost undisputed at 135. People forget.
Let me ask you something. Do you think Haney could hurt Lomachenko?
Possibly. If he catch him with the right punch, possibly.
Do you think Lomachenko could hurt Haney?
Yeah. Yeah, if he catch him with something, oh, yeah. If Loma catch him with something hot, and you know Loma's sneaky, Loma, yeah, he can probably hurt Haney. Loma can hurt any 135 or he catch him clean because you know he's crisp and he's accurate. He can catch you with some shit. You really, you know, every 135er that been in there with him, then probably, you know, damn near got stopped. You know what I'm saying? It's
Beta
fault him.
says Beta says I actually love Haney's style, but I think he recognizes that he has to put on true clinics to win with someone like Loma. So I think he gives us a boring fight, but beautiful boxing for true fans. He also says Loma looked bad in the last fight in terms of how he handles tall fighters with fast hands that can track his movement, and Haney makes great adjustments. With all that being said, man, Von, I'm gonna think about this a bit more, and I'm not gonna make this my final prediction, but because I had Haney winning, but the more I think about this live with you, when you're saying yeah, Haney could maybe hurt Lomachenko, but you didn't sound too sure, and I agree with you. Can Loma hurt Haney if he has the opening or opportunity? I think he could too. I agree with you. I feel like Lomachenko might be a good underdog to bet on, as weird as that. I know that might sound like such a noob.
He's actually, you know, Loma is one of them underdogs. If you're gonna bet, he ain't a bad he's a great underdog to bet on. Usually he ain't an underdog, so he's a great underdog to bet on.
Right now, Lomachenko's a plus 200, and Haney's a minus 250. I'm gonna think about this more, but I feel weird about writing Lomachenko off, kind of like what they did with Kambosos and Lopez, how Kambosos was written off. But I mean, that's a whole different fight.
Yeah,
Triangle theories, right? Doesn't work.
It's all different.
But
and Loma different dude.
Loma's different, and which almost even helps the argument of like he might surprise and upset the masses. Icy Breezy says, maybe we'll talk about this last thing before we get out of here. Haney beats Tank and Ryan, in my opinion. I think he beats Ryan. I don't think Haney beats Tank. You saw Tank in the Luke Thomas interview where he was like, "These guys can't punch. How are they gonna keep me off of them?"
Yeah, but
I kind of agree with him.
But I got an argument with that when he said that. The thing is, my thing is, if you're fighting a guy like Shakur Haney, if you can't hit him, then what does it mean that they can't punch?
Right.
If you can't land your shots clean, if you can't control the distance, what is it going to matter that they can't punch? And Shakur is dangerous for Tank. I've always felt like he is dangerous for him.
Granted, Tank has always been able to find the shot, but also granted too, he hasn't fought these guys.
Yeah, he ain't fought Shakur. He ain't fought Haney. It's different when you can't hit them. They controlling the distance. They ain't giving you none of that. They ain't giving you shit. It's going to be different. And I ain't saying Tank can't beat him because it's a 50-50 fight. But Haney and Shakur, Tank, it ain't going to be easy, bro. You can say they can't punch it, this, and that. It ain't going to be easy. This ain't Ryan Garcia. This ain't Rolly Romero and Isai Cruz. And then, bro.
I really want to go with... I do selfishly want to go with Lomachenko, but I'll think about it more, and I'll try to be unbiased as possible because I still have Haney right now, but we'll talk about that. Icy Breezy says, we saw Haney get stumbled by Linares. I talked about this in the last show as well too. He did. That was at the end of the round too.
Every MMA guy gets punched.
He was like lazy. He was dominating. You know what I mean? Like he was dominating. He got wobbled, and then he dominated Linares.
Check it out. It's this dude named Boxing Gyms that's on YouTube right now. This dude be breaking down boxing fights. If you want to really understand some things about boxing, go check him out, Boxing Gyms. And he made some shorts videos talking about everybody gets punched. And he showed all the elite boxers in boxing getting cracked and getting hurt damn near. It happens.
No, it does happen. And credit to him, he got caught and still outboxed him, right?
Yeah, still won. You're going to get cracked. You're going to get cracked. It's going to happen once. Or maybe more times.
Von Blue, I'm trying to stick to an hour, and man, I could go for another hour right now. It's an hour and 12 minutes.
We good.
I'm gonna try to do this weekly, and I'm really locking in on the content. We've been doing well. So Von, thank you for rocking out with me for this long.
Oh yeah, for sure. Man.
Let's keep trying to make this happen. I'll hit you up for next week, and I hope that people like this kind of style. It's something different.
A little different,
but it's fun. Like just because I've been so focused on MMA, but any chance that I got to educate Von Blue on boxing, I'm looking forward to.
Well, I mean, you know, come on, man. You know, I come on here, man. Come on. And then MAA, if you want OGs of MAA, I'm talking about the boys that was, watching the game late 90s, like myself, Sure Dog, arguments
Sure
on,
dog.
yeah, Sure Dog, yeah. I go back. Sure Dog,
Classic website right there.
come in and come coach you and come teach you and trainer.
I respect Trainer White. Remember? Damn, I forgot they used to call him that.
Haney, that was the first nickname for.
Beta Quest says when Haney shows up to box, he's the closest thing to Floyd. I've seen it in a long time. But when he wants to be entertaining like he did with JoJo, I get worried. Jesus says Haney a little more full grown. I think Shakur beats Haney. I really do feel that way. I feel the most dangerous fight for Haney might be Shakur. That gets a little bit interesting. I think Shakur's getting
more
bigger.
Floydish.
I think he's sitting on his punches a little bit more. I mean, we're gonna see him fight Robeisy soon, right? So
yeah, he fights this weekend. He fights a Japanese dude, and then he'll be the mandatory for WBC 135.
Right. Yeah. No. That's right. The Yoshimi, I think is his name.
Yeah. He'll beat him. He'll win that fight.
I want to see how he looks, just because I feel like he's getting older. He's growing into his body. I've been saying this for a while. Like
let's
the
see
last
how
couple of fights,
135.
Shakur has been looking like just more muscular. I don't know if that translates to more punching power. We shall see.
Yeah, but don't always.
Shakur is something special. I'm not saying just because he's from Newark, New Jersey, just like my man Von Blue loves Haney because he's from the Bay. But anyways, W Content says Zelman.
Not the Bay.
Oh, my fault. Tomato, Von, right? I heard it's all the same thing, or am I tripping? No.
Bay. No, it is the same thing.
Yo, Von, much love, man. Let's try to do this next week if you're free. I'm going to try to stick to the Tuesday. So,
yes, sir. All right.
Let me know. Chat, thank you so much. Later, Von. Chat, thank you so much for hanging out. That was Von Blue in the building. Von Blue's Boxing. Go check him out. Jesus in the building. Beta, a bunch of DC Fight Club members. Did you and Trey talk about the UFC and WWE merger TKO? Yes, we talked about it yesterday in the live stream for a bit, which got kind of interesting because we started talking about Zelmay, what fighters will best translate to WWE if they ever get the opportunity. And we mentioned names like Conor McGregor, Colby Covington, Juliana Pena, who else? Derek Lewis. There was a couple other guys. Yes, Icy Breezy. Ask me real quick before I get out of here. We're gonna try to do this every Tuesday. So thank you for rocking out with me. Let me know what the question is, and then I'll answer and I'll get out of here. That'll be the last one. Guys, also please, I don't know if you guys are on Discord, Instagram, Twitter. Anybody that's watching the boxing content, if you want questions to be answered in the live stream or topics you want to focus on specifically, hit me up on Discord or Twitter and Instagram. Be like, yo, talk about this on Tuesday, and I'll do it. I have no problem. Wait on Icy Breezy, and then I'll get out of here. Beta, thank you for keeping me accountable this long and saying, yo, do the boxing content, because finally I worked my way around to it, right? And I plan to keep doing it. Do you think Triple G beat Canelo in the first fight? Yes, clearly, almost, in my opinion, Icy Breezy. Granted, that second fight was closer, and I liked how Canelo pushed the pace in the second one, and I had him winning. And in the third one, of course, Triple G was just long in the tooth a bit, and Canelo won the third one. But in the first one, I thought it was pretty clear that Triple G won. Would love to watch that live and score it round by round, maybe on Twitch one of these days. Whitaker would make a great babyface now that I think about it. You think so? In the WWE? I don't know. He has a very likable persona, though. I'll give you that. And I think he's the most dangerous fighter for Hamzat, in my honest opinion. Guys, this was a really fun. I hope you guys enjoyed this boxing thing. Let's try to make it every Tuesday. And I'm streaming every Monday. Now, if I add Tuesdays, that's good, right? We got more content. Maybe we could start a little bit earlier. I don't know if Von's schedule works with that, but we'll see. We'll see what happens. Either way, every Tuesday, whether Von comes on or not, but hopefully he can, because it's really nice having a back and forth. Let me know if it matters if he doesn't have a camera and you just hear him. Like, is that annoying or is that cool? Do you guys like the audio only format more? I don't know. So I'm willing to try new things and just see what goes on. Thank you guys for the love. Thank you guys for the support. #1 MMA commentary channel on YouTube that's now doing MMA podcasts and boxing podcasts. Nobody's grinding harder than us. Let's get out of here. Well, maybe a few out there, but we'll try to match up to them. God bless. Good night. We'll talk soon. Hit me up on Discord, Twitter, any social media outlet with any questions. Thank you so much for the support. I'll catch you in the next stream. Peace. I'm the best ever. I'm Sonny Liston. I'm Jack. Almost forgot. Be here this Saturday for UFC 287. Oh my God. Be here. Hit the bell for post notifications. I should be on live for the preliminary cards. All right, this time for real. Peace.
I'm the best ever. I'm Sonny Liston. I'm Jack Dempsey. There's no one like me. I'm from Nairclaw. There's no one that can match me.
Yo, bounce guy, go off.
I'd like to take this chance to apologize for absolutely nobody. The double champ does what the he wants.
Wilder's in a world of trouble. Closing seconds. Can he weather the storm here in the third round?
And the ball to superlative.
Big right hook, lands flush for Cambosos, and that knocks down Teofimo Lopez. We have ourselves a fight.
Khabib Nurmagomedov gets a triangle choke from up top. Gaethje's out, and the fight is over. The triangle choke for Khabib Nurmagomedov.
And Porter gets knocked down. He gets knocked down again. 10th round TKO win. Left uppercut, and that knocks out Leo. It appears he's out cold. The fight is over. It was a counter left uppercut, and just like that, what a left uppercut. I did not see that coming, ladies and gentlemen. I will have to admit.